To deploy your header tag across all pages of the site, on Ad Inserter, you can go to Settings, go to the Header tab, and paste your header code. Make sure you turn it on. It should change to green like this, and save your settings. But if, for example, you were given two different header tags and you need to separate them, then you can create hook for that, give it a name, and make sure the action is WP_head. And it has to be checked, so it's enabled. Then save your settings. You then look for an ad block that's not yet in use, deploy your header tag, select the page or category where you want this tag to be served, and choose the insertion or that hook that you just created. Let's say this one's for homepage. Select another one, deploy the header tag for the other pages, and this time you can select what other pages or categories you want this ad to serve and select again the hook. So you only go this route if it's separate header tags for different pages or categories of your site. To deploy the div IDs or body tags, you can go ahead and grab them. Look for an ad block on your Ad Inserter plugin that's not yet in use. Go ahead, paste it. Select the page categories or sections where you want this ad to be delivered and specify the insertion here. For example, this will show up after first paragraph and I want it centered, and save settings. You do the same for the rest of your div IDs, deploy them and insert where they're supposed to show up. And for the sidebar, if you have one, on Ad Inserter, you go ahead, deploy, select the category where it's supposed to show up, and you keep the insertion disabled. Then you can go ahead and save. Once that's saved, you can go to Appearance, Widgets. Then here you can decide where you want that ad to show up on your sidebar. Go ahead and drag it. For example, I want it at the very top. Select the ad block where it was deployed. Let's say it was block 34. Then just go ahead and save it. If you are using advanced ads, start by creating group and rotation. Create two groups, one for body and one for head. When deploying a header tag, go to Ads, New Ad. Give it a name. You can keep it at plain text and code. Paste the code in here. Set up the rest of your conditions, visitor and display conditions if necessary. Select the head group and click on Publish. And since this is a header tag, select the header code for the placement and done. To deploy a div ID or body tag, click New Ad, give it a name. Still plain text and code. Paste the div ID or code in here. Again, set up the rest of your settings here if necessary, including display and visitor conditions. And for the group, select the body group, click on Publish, and here you can select where you want it to show up. So for example, I want this before content. I'll go ahead and select that, and done. For the sidebar, still click New Ad or create a new ad, give it a name, paste the code, set up the rest of your settings or conditions as needed, still select the body group, and publish. Once you get to this screen, click Manage Sidebar. It will then bring you to the widget section. Here's Advanced Ads. Go ahead and drag it depending on where you want it to show up and select the ad block that you just created. And then click on Save. Once all done, revisit your groups and rotation. For the body group, make sure it's ordered ads so you can show all of them. And for the visible ads, you can select the number of ads you want to display per page here, or you can just select all and put the same weight across the board if you want them to show up on the same page at the same time. Once done, you can click Update Groups. Same goes for the head group. If, for example, you have two separate header tags, you can select random ads so it only shows one at a time. Add them all in here. Put the home page weight at 10, and for the other pages, you can put 9 for the weight. Advanced ads will then serve the header tag with a weight of 10 if the user is on the home page. If not, it will serve the next header tag with a lower weight in here. Your MonetizeMore account manager will provide you with your AdSense or AdExchange tags formatted this way. Depending on how many ad units you're going to run on your site, deploy them where they're supposed to show up. Go to Ads, New Ad. Give it a name, choose plain text and code, paste your code in here, set up the rest of your settings as needed, including your display and visitor conditions if applicable. Then, select the body group. Once done, click on Publish. Once you get to this window or screen, go ahead and select the placement for this ad unit. Let's say, for example, I want this to show up within the content or in the middle of the content. I can then say I want it to show up after paragraph 3 and I'll click OK. Do the same steps for the rest of your ad unit. If you are using Ad Inserter, go to Settings, Ad Inserter, locate a block that is not yet in use, deploy your ad tag, target the specific category or section of the site where you want this ad to serve, and specify your insertion. Let's say I want this before paragraph 1, and I want it centered. Do the rest for the other tags that you have, deploy the code, and set the targeting criteria.
That concludes our video for today. Want to learn how to become an AdSense expert? Introducing PubGuru University School of AdSense. With 36 on-demand videos and over 3.5 hours of content, we will help you become a Google AdSense expert. Enroll today.